Clear for landing, clear for landing. The question is, will the SPY be clear for landing? We're down right now from that highs today. We'll see if we're able to close above yesterday's close. I was watching that 410.10 on the SPY. Will we get there? Let me know what you guys think in the chat. Let's go ahead. Let's dive on in. Welcome to At the Close.
All right, it is time for pre-market prep at the close.
3 consecutive highs, opened, matched yesterday's low, and then once it took out there, that's all the breakout momentum traders needed.
All right, let's go ahead. Let's dive on in. Welcome, Joel Elconin. What did you see in this market?
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let me take my my nausea pills here.
Yes.
Very interesting day. When Nancy landed, that's when we made the low of the day. 40, 80, 50. And for y'all that were paying attention, I said underneath that pre-market low is Friday's low of 40.81. And that's here, folks. So what I'm going to do, and I don't do this a lot, is, man, I'm going to make this our line in the sand here. I'd say I'm going to try and keep that bullish camp on, even though it's very hard with Mitch and Dennis every day, you know, calling for the end of the world. I'm going to say that I'm hanging in there. I'm hanging in there until that's breached. After that's breached, folks, I don't know where we're going, but the next daily low is under 4,000. So there you go. You gotta hang in there. On the upside, this is concerning. Not only a triple top from Friday at 44, Monday at 47 and a quarter, today at 41.43. You got a high from June. Where is it here? June 9th, right here at 41.45.75. So that makes a quad top. So there you go. What will win? The quad top or the double bottom? Well, we shall see. Just hanging out, trying to close in a 4,100 handle. I would be very impressed if we got back unchanged on today. But as we've learned in this market, never say never. I'm just going to adjust this line to here and make it oh so tight. Look at that. We're going to wind up and figure out which way to go. Crude. Now, this is interesting. We've come down to this 92.50 area several times. And we've bounced good, but no can two today. Well, we bounced about $1.50, but you can see those 4 lows in crude, 92.5 for you crude traders. Keep an eye on that. Squirrely gold sticks its head over 1,800, 1,805, and then ended up in the red. Down 860, 1778.90. Silver, oh man, they got allergic to that 20 handle. Pair of matching highs at 20.50, now under 20, down 41 cents at 1994.5. Bitcoin caught a little bid with the market, but that's only up $85 at 23,115. And Ethereum, it's doing a little bit better. That's up $22 at 1648.50.
All right. Let's talk about technology here, as it's the sector that led the day, and some of these were doing not too bad. I mean, if you looked at technology, what is the industry leading us? It was solar, baby. Solar keeping us up in technology. Look at that EMPH move today. Another nice move in that stock. And then we could take maybe a look at Array, a cheaper name that also had a really good day, up 8.4%. And I only have one solar stock in the red today, and that's FTCI, and down 0.2%. Everything else in the green.
Catalyst, or it's just rotation?
It's the climate, that bill, and it just keeps going, and it doesn't turn around. I mean, they're definitely looking at it as, it's also seasonality. It's that time of year where you hear a lot more of solar being mentioned and the nice little push. The question is, will it continue to give that nice raise? You saw First Solar that had good earnings pop up there last week. now holding up at the top of the range. Look at that chart. It's an interesting one. It's trying to get back through. It looks 100. 100 is just above it. We've had now 3 weeks in the 100. So I'm going to keep this one on watch. It's an interesting level to watch on First Solar.
All right, let me take a look at FSLR, First Solar. I mean, that stock's nowhere near its all-time high. Look at that big old gap and go off earnings. I'm going to give you 101.50. You're going 100. Oh boy, look at that. 3 tops right there. I'll call 101.75. That's your bogey. You're back $2 off there. I think in order to do that, I mean, you got higher lows here. Maybe establish a solid bid over. I don't know about over 100, but maybe you can do that. But 3 highs in the same area, nowhere near this high. And I think First Solar, I think that this stock went crazy. I don't even think this is no. This stock had a date. Oh, we're starting to lose this. This got back to 3.7. This is at 3.17 back just before the financial crisis. But Solar's strong. S&Ps are strong. They heard me calling for an update. And now we're only down 9.25. I'll go with Array, ARRY. Ooh, that's bunching up near the high of the move too.
Well, it looks like the ride sharing is having a day, because it's not only Uber having a good day, Lyft following Uber, but take a look at that move. Who saw this in the earnings? Because it wasn't me, I'll tell you that much.
Good call, Triple D. He just didn't think that they were just going to fade this one hard. They like the revenue beat. I wish I could do the eclipse on here, because this was what. Let's see how you do this. I'll have to look in the. Oh, look at that! It was pretty close. Oh, look at that. Well, that looks like heck. But anyways, this was the candle that I was referring to. Oh, now I want to get rid of the eclipse. Remove it. It's an ellipse. Anyways, this was the candle that I was referring to, because this was a down day. It was a gap down day, and it really led to much, much more. So $30 psychological. That's kind of the middle. Didn't quite get there, but that seems upward momentum trading near the highs of the session. Let's see. Let's get to 30.59. Let's establish a bid over 30. And greener skies ahead for Uber. Lyft was not moving off this at all in the pre-market, just a little bit. But when I looked at it, it wasn't up that much. I think they report pretty close too. But for Lyft, the laggard overall, what do you got? You got some room up to 1680.
Lyft reports in 2 days on Thursday after the close. So just keep that one on your radar. It's already had
Which
the
one
run.
Is one cheaper than the other? Or are they both pretty equally equally priced? Do you know?
I would go off of the market cap and at least just go.
Oh, I meant like if you call up, like if I said if Money Mitch was in town and I wanted to go downtown Detroit.
It depends on the ride. And depends on the timing, Joel. I can tell you right now, as a person that always takes a look at both of them before I hit the book, it depends on the timing, and it depends also on the drivers in the area, and then also. And there's times where I've seen Uber charging, let's say overages, but then Lyft is not charging overages, right?
Really?
And so you have to catch them really quickly, but you're able to go ahead and do so and try to get around it. There isn't one that I would say, if I had to say it was more expensive because of the fees, it's Uber, but then Lyft sometimes changes up there. And next thing you know, they're over kind of Uber, but Lyft is one of the ones that I actually use pretty often with Uber. So if I'm not using an Uber, I'm using a Lyft, right? I don't think there's anything else that's being used there.
Taxi, baby.
Taxi. I haven't used a taxi, Joel, and oh my God, since I think I was in New York a couple of years ago. But even in New York, they turned around, right? They're not even there. So
I know. I got the famous whistle, and I can't do it now because it would blow everyone's ears out. But all right, anyway, Lyft, the high bar set now for
Yeah.
Lyft. Like I said, I think you got some room up to 1680 there, and Uber having a great day. This is one of the best days I can remember Uber having. Maybe going back to that run in 21 when it made that old time high.
All right, let's take a look at a stock that's coming into earnings tonight. Everyone's wondering what's going to happen to AMD today. What will happen? They tried to get above 100 today.
They did.
Let's see if the earnings can get it there.
Let's see here. I talked about 100. Psychological. Yeah, you went to 110 on the rebound. If you're wow, that was a triple top there at 109.50. But yeah, it got over there and just look at the run this had off the July low, right? 71 to 100, right? If you were playing this, you thought you have a good report. What more do you want here? That's a big move. 85 to 100 over the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd be a little hesitant on this one. If I had some profits, perhaps I'd book them in a report or selling some expensive weekly calls or something. If you are trading this after the report, keep an eye on 103. I'll give you two levels. 103.94 is this high, and then there was a pair of highs at 106. So one stock that you got to be careful of, like if you blast through all those levels and then it turns around and hold, AMD is one that can put the hurt to you in a quickie. So on the downside, man, I just don't know where you step up and buy this thing after a move from 72, 73 to nearly 100. I would you just 72 to, let's call it 72, 30-point move. 86, 87, maybe in this area. At least you got two lows in the same area at 85. But I don't think we're going to see AMD down $14 after the report.
We'll see what happened there. I am taking a shot on this one. Didn't want to talk too much, but it's a really small position. So let's take a look at Starbucks. What do you guys think on Starbucks? I will let everybody know I'm in at 85.22.
You're long?
Short, baby.
Oh, you're short. Man, it hasn't traded. Oh, you got it today or yesterday?
Yesterday.
Yeah. Well, you're never gonna get me to say you're wrong. Shorten this one. Not a big fan of it.
That's another thing too. I'm a big bear in Starbucks too.
Because you like your bros. How's bros doing? I haven't taken
bro.
that.
Come on, bro, man. Bro's over everything, man. I keep it close by.
There we go. Back at 40 consolidation station here between 35 and 40. Starbucks. How are they going to do in China?
You know what's my concern, Joel, is not only China, but I'm sure you've seen it in the news. There's a lot of union talk with Starbucks. There's unions that have started to form. They're asking for more money. And in my eyes, that's never a good thing, at least for the company.
Higher wages. Just take a look. You know where your out is. If in fact you can take out that 2-day high, then boom, and you can tell it opens up here on the upside. On the downside here, if you could knock those, and you're kind of doing it as we speak. You got buyers here, these pesky buyers at in the 83 handle. Let's just go with 83.80. That's the lowest of the two lows, or of the last three lows. 393, 403. I think you take that one out, Mitch, and you might be able to get this thing at 81.12. That's your 2, 4, 5-day low. Or if you're looking at more, there's only one pesky low at 80. But first things first, want to make sure you stay underneath that high of 85.59 from yesterday.
There's a lot coming in after the close. So let's just keep running through some of these because I think it's an important thing to look at. And let's look at EA, I think is an interesting one.
EA.
Because EA is something that I feel like it's like, gaming's starting to get to this point where it's a little bit forgotten. You're not hearing too much focus about video games. This has been just sleepy around the same price area. I want to watch this report to see what happens in gaming.
It's kind of it kind of looks like it's rolling over, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. But in this kind of market, I don't. After Google, I stopped saying that.
uh, well, it had one or two gaps to fill from this low, 132.75. You did that last week by a nice margin. You went to 133.62. So there, you backed off $4 from there. So I'd use that as a good resistance point. If they don't like the report, it's hard because where are the daily lows to lean on here? I mean, there are a series of higher lows, but there's not really two lows in this same area. So I would just go to this one here, 124.09. I've seen this move $4 or $5. Not sure what the expected move is in EA, but man, this thing is just like even in that monthly, that bottom right chart. I mean, you got to be thinking, well, it's still pretty darn close to its all-time high at 150. Really hasn't broken down. I mean, I know ATVI, that's kind of irrelevant. What else? Oh, TTWO. How's that looking? That's more.
that,
I don't know.
that rejection of 130 today did not
I
look
know. I
bueno.
don't know. Take two, the weakest of the group, and as we said,
Yeah.
ATV. I'm not a gamer. I'm not a big gamer, guys. Just me and Drake play Fortnite every once in a while. So I can't really tell you too much about it. And like that esports, that e-gaming, I don't think that's really taken off the way people thought it would.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go in there too much. I mean, Zunaid actually does esports with us, and
He
I've
does.
never watched esports. I'm gonna be as honest as I can say this, and I think that I'm probably gonna get hit publicly about this, but I've never watched someone play video games. It's just not there for me. I'd rather watch sports, but hey, that's just me, right?
I'm so old that when I hung out and people had video games, it was like at smoky pool halls and people were playing billiards and stuff and
Hell
maybe do
yeah, I still do
do
those.
the
I do.
pinball.
They're called one-up bars. I love those, the little arcade bars. They're definitely great.
All right, we're
Uh,
leaking. That we're
we're starting to
freaking.
leak. We're
We're
leaking.
leaking. We're freaking and leaking.
Uh,
Yeah, it's a nervous day. Interestingly, and we go through this exercise every once in a while. Um, we're 2 points from where we opened this morning, not last night, but all the shaking and baking since
shaking.
9:30. Here we are, 2 points away from that open. That open this morning was 4102.75. So trying to close in the 4100 handle.
I'm wondering what happens to PayPal because it's been trying to
I
come back. Made a great move off the bottom here. I was liking it a couple days back. I still liked it, but with the earnings report coming out, it's just hard to hold it overnight here. What do you think about that chart?
I think that I thought the earnings were this morning, and I wrote it as a pre-market prep stock of the day for yesterday, and I put the straddle price in from yesterday, and it's not the price, so shame on me. Nice run up, high expectations, making a new high of the move today. So major rally, $20 rally. What I'd be looking at here is this area that has my attention. And this is the only area where you have three high, or no, it was right up here, three highs in the same area. So if they start to lift off here, see what happens in 92.50. After 92.50, things really open up. And here's another scenario where if they whack it, which they have not been doing on bad reports, where do you step up? I mean, where do you put your bid? I think I figured the 50% retracement is probably right around 80, and that would also fill the gap from the end of July. So, I mean, if they whacked it, I think the straddle that I was looking at yesterday was implying a move of $9. I bet you it's pretty close to that. So that would take 4.5, would take you up to 94.50. taking it 4.5 lower and take you down to 85. So there's just some parameters, but make sure you check it on your options trade before you do any trading based on that.
Well, one that's running into the earnings here is, of course, Caesars Entertainment getting a lift today, 6.6%. And I'll just give myself the pat on the back. Still in it, but focusing on the gambling trade here as we're starting to get the rise, baby. Look at that, baby, Joe. Look at that.
Yeah, you talked about that one. And I told you I like the setup better than this one.
Guess what? I got them both.
I gave you the setup. That is, yeah. Good old Penner. I wish I would have kept this one up on my front page. I've done okay with these kind of formations in it, but the other thing too that you just should take note here is when stocks have that formation that they had, and then they it got a couple closes at in that area 34.50. Now you did have the dip early in the morning, so that even makes this rally more impressive that you broke out. But now let's just look for, there's nothing in here really. If you can get a 2-day move out of this, there's room up to 39.24. But I don't know. We'll see. On the downside, you want to hold. Now it's important. Now if something happens, you need to hold. You need to hold 35 if it comes back down. This is not an old Jersey team term. This is from the shirt is from when I coached my daughters in Maccabi games, and this is going back a long time. I keep old shirts, so this shirt might be 15 years old, as you could probably tell. But I like to wear it because it's hot here in the summer. All right, what else you want to look at? We're leaking, Mitch. We're leaking. Someone find the plug. Find the stopper.
The plug.
Yeah, the plug. There you go.
Find the plug and plug it in. I'll tell you what, Royal Caribbean did not take water on today after doing the upsize $1 billion debt offering. You would think it goes down on that, but CCL did the same thing. I believe when they did their offering, they went up on that. Nice little spike out the gates.
Yeah, I mean, this thing has just been so beat up, and so riding into it, not gleaming much from this chart. Nothing really sticking out to me. I mean, you did pierce that high from yesterday, but now you're back below it. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I guess, you don't even have a pair of lows in the same area. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe I could look at CCL and give you a setup. I don't like to give you a setup when there's not a setup there. Just hanging out near COVID lows. Man, seem to be finding buyers in the upper 8 handle, but you could have said that for 4, 5, 6 days. So this might be setting up with a little bit more of the bigger boys. But you could have said that, in May, you bottom in this area. Well, you came from top to bottom. June was a quiet month. I don't know, good day, not a great day.
We'll see what happens there. Now I'm seeing a stock, and this is just showing me the dash with trash is on. That's for sure. Look at the Peloton, baby, coming back.
Is it over $10 yet?
It's trying. They put a hard candle
there.
Oh,
my Lord. Oh, wow. Holy mackerel. Up $1.07.
Trying to hop back on the bike, man. It's trying to hop back on.
I can't even look at that thing anymore.
The question is there anybody still a subscriber? That's what I'm wondering now.
I am, because I get the Affirm payment coming up on my phone every once a month. 1095, good volume today. I mean, I would give you 11.11. That was the high. That's not too far away. I'd say come down to $11. If this thing doesn't clear 11 tomorrow with some legs, then I would look for it to roll over. 1140 would be your next daily high.
Oxy rolling over here towards the close. They do have also earnings after the close here. Nice little leakage candle that just showed up there in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, a little nervousness going back into the close. RAG, I haven't put new money to work in a while, and I wouldn't be putting it to work up here. As far as the indexing goes, I think uh, uh, I would rather see this thing clear this quad top and buy it on strength a little bit. I don't like, and also when I'm looking at the dailies here, when you see a formation like this and you see an extended rally, and then you see it just sitting with two lows, and then your next daily low doesn't come into 4,000. A bad day, they can really inflict some pain. So, but I'm boring. I'm not like triple D and 55 and 45 and all the different percentages. I pretty much stick with what I have, and take pain with the gain. I'm an old man too, so I don't need to kind of risk like you young fellas do. No bids in here.
No
40.94.
bids. We're
No,
leaking, man.
yeah, we're leaking. Yeah,
And
they're
and when I look around, I'm seeing different stocks leaking in different sectors. So that shows me more and more that it's a lot coming down. It's not just one stock leading us down right now. It's the overall market
I
pulling.
think people are worried what China's going to do tonight.
Yeah,
You
overnight
know,
they're concerned now. Really.
I really, I mean, because they weren't going to do anything. So, um, I don't know.
All right.
That's where your risk is. Your overnight risk is, a lot in the market. 3 minutes to go. Did you see the selling balance? Did we have some selling balances?
Yeah, let me check right quick. I'm pretty sure there's probably something there. So
Yeah.
I'll be able to tell you guys in 2 seconds here. It's pulling on up. Looks like my data is slowing down here a little bit. We're having some issues right now with our data provider, but let's keep going. Before the open Wednesday, you will get an interesting stock that used to think that. I gotta say, I mean, if you thought this was ever gonna happen, maybe you were reading the tea leaves, but Under Armour reporting tomorrow. I remember at one point, Under Armour really thought they were going to step into sports and this whole apparel manufacturing and take over. They were looking at Nike like, yeah, we got you guys. We're coming for you. Man, this chart in the bottom right, says it all.
Yeah, we're hanging out near COVID lows. I mean, what was the COVID low here? 637. Bunch of consolidation here. Ahead of that, I mean, someone's been stepping up between 720 and 740. So if you want to look at that, and then on the upside here, you got a trio of highs. This is called 850 as potential. Got one pair of Under Armour shorts, and I wear them. I don't love them, so one piece Under Armour gear. Nike, if that's any indication. Nike down 251. Up, just like the S&P.
Leaking.
Yeah. Yep. 115.
Slow but sure leak here towards the close.
Yep. What else you got for me?
Trying to pull some imbalances. I wasn't able to get them there.
Okay,
we're having some issues right now. So, but definitely, UA has Steph Curry.
It says to buy at 354. At 354, there was a market imbalance to buy 456, and they said, yeah. So I hope nobody fell for that.
Yep, we'll see what happened there. I saw someone mention Vroom. That's also kind of a dash for trash type of stock. But Cars.com reports tomorrow. If you guys want to take a look at that one, that's Cars. If you take a look at that, daily has been coming back significantly. But let's just be honest, right? If we're going into a recession, if we're going into higher interest rate times, I think eventually you have to probably see the car industry also probably take a demand destruction kind of hit.
You know what would keep me out of this stock?
What?
And I don't know how closely they're related.
Carvana.
Yeah. So, but cars, I mean, Ford surprised. Car $12. I like 12. Let's see what happens at 12. Close 1181. I think you got some room above 12 if you can clear 12. So not a good close, guys and gals.
No bueno,
Debbie,
no bueno.
I'm a little concerned. Like I said, I'm trying to ward off the bears. I'll have to tell you my bear spray story from Glacier National Park sometime. That's a good one. But I got the bear spray and it's out, but I
Might
don't know
have to
if
use it on me
I
because
don't
I'm
have to
going
work.
red, baby.
Yeah, I know
It's looking like it.
you and Triple D are the Bears, and I'm on the fence, and I'm
The
just
Bears are back in town. The Bears are back in town.
I try and balance. I try
That
and
you do,
provide
Joel. That you
balance.
do. You do
Yeah.
bring us balance, and I appreciate you for that because sometimes it's good to just keep the head on straight, right? Everybody.
Even if I agree with you guys, I like to disagree.
No, I think it's important because, like you mentioned it, everyone was freaking out to Pelosi landing. Well, nothing really came from that. I mean, now we're going to see what happens. And I think it's important to kind of notice that. That's why I felt like it could also kind of go up. The market could go up today. But hey, as we saw, it did go up for a little bit. And then the smackdown came. We'll see if we get any more news overnight, of course, from the situation. And we'll be back tomorrow. But we'll see.
Do you want to hear the bear story real quick?
Yeah, let's go. Quick. What you got?
We were out, Lisa and I were going hiking in Glacier National Park in Montana a couple years ago. And there was a couple there's signs everywhere about, the bears and everything. And so, we went into the store and, we decided that, we were going to get some bear spray. And so Lisa and I are standing there, and the person goes, "If you see a, and he gave us like, and I'm holding the can. He gives me like 6 instructions of what to do. If the bear comes, and I take the cans and I hand it to Lisa, and I go, "You're in charge of the bear spray." But I took it on the trail, and we didn't see any bears.
I can tell you right now, as a person that's been in some deep, Colorado wilderness, I haven't ran into a bear. If the odds for you to run into a bear are very actually low. Now, what I did run into is a couple moose. Moose. It was an interesting experience because it did have a calf nearby, so we were a little concerned. They get a little defensive. They're pretty big too. But hey, like always, what you got to do is always like the market, right? We come in with a planned attack, have some safety, always risk assessment first. Then we look for the reward and maybe enjoy the hike itself. And I know that you guys will be enjoying tomorrow pre-market prep. We'll be back with all the action in the morning. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Hit the like on your way out.